Welcome back to my channel. This is Nook Fears. And no, this is not an episode of the podcast. This is the latest version of Nook Fears story time. We're going to call this one Fumble. Hope you guys can hear me a little better. Got my microphone going now. Thanks for the investment. It's been a while since I did one of these. So I thought I'd bring you a cute little story from my past on my high school football career and just how that didn't pan out the way I thought it was going to pan out. You guys are going to enjoy this. So welcome back to the channel. Hope you enjoy the show. Get your popcorn ready, get your tissue ready. So in high school, I was not a big guy, believe it or not. But at that point, it was my junior year. I had tried out for the basketball team my freshman year, didn't make it, didn't do anything my sophomore year. So I decided I want to get back into sports for my junior year. And what did I decide to do? I decided to join the football team. Right, I know, right? So I decided I wanted to join a football team. So that's what I did. I joined the team. I wanted to play running back. So that's what I was. Um, yeah, that was the beginning of the end when I chose to do that. But I just want to give y'all a little background on how the junior season went. The junior season did not go well at all. Before the season started, we lost star running back Jalen Richard to a torn ACL injury. The previous year, he scored like 30 touchdowns, ran for over 2,000 yards. He was pretty much the top back in the state. He was the offense for the most part. So already he goes down. In steps J.J. Wright, who was a solid replacement. But I was behind him, and so was a couple other people like Michael Carr. Shout out to Michael Carr. But even though we were technically behind JJ on the depth chart, that really didn't matter. They didn't really uh, too much have much love for the little guys, but that's okay. I want to before I even get into my own individual statistics, I want to call out some of the people who I thought should have been leaders in the locker room for that season. Who should have not allowed some things to go on. See, we finished that season 2-8. It was not a great year. We only had 2 wins. I feel like we didn't have a winning culture. I feel like the young guys, the freshmen and the sophomores that was on the team were very immature. Gifted, could play, some of them, but very immature. And nobody really corralled those guys and spoke to them and really got them in line. They kind of just ran wild the whole season as far as like just did what they wanted to do without repercussion. Um, and I'm gonna get to where that leadership should have came into play towards the end of the story. But I want to start um, with me. Said I was a running back, right? So I split time between JV and varsity. Like first year doing football, so I wanted to. I did JV to kind of get my feet wet into the game. I never played football before, so because I was a junior, it's like, oh well, why are you on JV? Because it's like being on a scout team or something like that. Like it's a chance for me to get some learning skills and some good game time. So when I'm on the varsity side on Friday nights, because JV plays on Monday, I'll be prepared. Um, let's just say my JV career was not great. Not because I was not a great athlete, I really was, but as a running back, my career stats was negative 10 yards with 2 fumbles and 2 tackles. I didn't play defense. Never practiced a down on defense, but I ended up with 2 tackles. I'm gonna tell you how I got there. So, one game, uh, I was waiting to get in because I was not a starter. I was waiting to get in, and it was a game against, I want to say, Leesville. Leesville JV team, home game. And I want to say somewhere in the second quarter, I finally got my shot. I was able to get into the game. I felt like I had prepared. I felt like I was ready for the moment. It was my time to shine, baby. You know what I'm saying? But I get in the game, and I don't know whether it was nerves or what it was, but um, I get these random nosebleeds. I don't know what's wrong. I get random nosebleeds. Nobody had to touch me or anything like that. I'm in my running back stance because I'm gonna get the ball as a running play, and I just feel blood dripping down my nose. So I I check myself, and I have blood on my hands, slippery. Keep that in mind. So I got blood on my hands. I'm not knowing why I'm bleeding, but the ball is snapped. The ball is snapped, and it's a toss play to the left, actually. Toss play to the left. So he tosses me the ball, and I can't corral it. I fumble it. As soon as it hit my hands, the blood, it I fumbled the ball. I was able to pick it back up, but as soon as I picked it back up, boom! Linebacker decked me. Hit me hard. Rattled my ancestors. But because of that fumble, I got taken out the game. Benched. Whole game. Crazy work. So that's one carry, -5 yards, fumble. But in that same breath, this is how you knew that Peabody at this moment in time was discombobulated. So we on defense. I'm standing next to the coach. Coach Baker, God rest his soul. Such a great coach. Good man. The defense out there, they short a man. They don't have a linebacker out there. They short one person. And they looking around, coaches looking at, I need a man, I need a man, I need a man. I'm standing right next to coach. He said, go in, again. You know how the coach pushes you? He just pushed me in the game. Go in. So I'm in there on defense at linebacker. Now, for those of you who don't know about football, linebackers are typically 6'2", 6'3", 250 pounds. These are big boys. So I'm thrusted out there linebacker. The defense is looking at me like, what are you doing out here? And I'm just like, y'all needed a body. So naturally, I don't know none of the defensive plays. I don't know what set they're running, what coverage they're running, nothing like that. So what they're telling me is, just watch the ball. Just watch the ball. I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch the ball at linebacker. Now, at this point, I had watched enough football to know when somebody's about to get picked on because there's a mismatch. So I'm looking at the offense. They have a running back. He was white, but he was a solid white boy. I could see the quarterback licking his chops. Like I'm bleeding in the middle of the ocean. They about to feast like sharks. At that moment in time, when I looked at the quarterback, I knew the ball was coming to me. I just didn't know whether it was a passing play or running back, but it didn't matter. I knew whether it was a run or a pass. It was coming my way. So my heart was racing. Boom, 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 boom. Anxiety. I don't know what to do. All I know is when the ball gets snapped, it's on. So they snapped the ball. It's a toss play to my side, so it's a running play. Now, I had never really thought of myself playing defense, so I had never, like I said, didn't practice defense at all. So I didn't know how to get into tackling position properly, but I knew I had to bend my knees and brace myself and just hope that somebody gets to this running back before he gets to me. Right? So the defense was not that great. So I was like, their offensive line pancaked our defensive line. The first level, knocked down. The receivers picked up the other two linebackers. I'm the only one scot-free. It's me and the running back. Yeah, I had safeties and corners behind me, but I was determined not to let it get to that level. I was determined not to let this boy get past me. But what was I going to do? At this moment in time, I'm 16 years old. I hadn't hit my growth spurt yet. At this point, I'm probably 5'3", 95 pounds. You heard me right. 5'3", 95 pounds. This running back was at least 5'8", 175. That's an 80-pound difference. But you know what? This is where I knew I was a dog. Because I knew I had to take that challenge. So the running back is coming my way. There's nothing between me and him. Now, me being a running back myself, I know there's two things that he can do. He's either going to try to juke me, break my ankles, which he wasn't going to do that. I wasn't going to let that happen. Or he was going to try to put me on a highlight tape and run me the fuck over. Now, which one did you think I thought he was going to do? 5'8", 175, 5'3", 95. I'm thinking he going to hit me with that young Dro. Shoulder lean, put it down and run me over. I didn't want that to happen. I couldn't let that happen. But, again, I've never played defense before. I ain't never tackled nobody before. So this should be an interesting meeting of the minds, right? So I'm in position. I see him put the shoulder down. I know what's coming. He's about to try to run me over. We made contact. He dipped his shoulder, and boom. You know how the band major does his routine, and at the end he does the back bend? So when he lowered his shoulder and ran through me, I did the drum major back bend. I was in the matrix. So as my body is folded in half, I already knew that before I hit the ground, that I had fucked up. But in that same breath, I had the wherewithal that as I was in matrix mode, to wrap my arms around his legs as he was trying to get completely by. And when I did that, you want to know what happened? The darndest thing happened. I got that mug to the ground. He fell. That was considered a solo tackle. I got up. I was proud of myself. My first career tackle. I immediately got pulled from the game naturally. But I was like, I just saved a touchdown run. That's how I felt. So the game goes on. It happens again. I don't know what was going on with the defense. Somebody didn't want to play. Missing a linebacker again. You want to know what happened? Threw my little ass out there again. Now at this point, I might as well just play defense at this point. So I'm back in the game again. And what you think's happening again? They want to pick on me again. It's another run play. Running back gets through the hole again. But the way he was running, he ran straight up the middle. I'm coming from the outside, so he didn't see me. So once he got through the middle, I had him at an angle. And when I wrapped him up, I used all the lower body strength I had, which at this point I hadn't done powerlifting yet. Hadn't lifted a weight in my life yet. So I didn't know how naturally strong I was. Wrapped him up from the side, he didn't see me. Lifted him up and put him on the ground. You know how defensive players do once they make a good tackle? They hit him with that. So that's what I did. I hit him with that. Like I did something. Not a muscle in my arm, but I hit him with that. I felt good about myself. Another solo tackle. Didn't need an assist. 2 tackles in one game on defense when he was supposed to be out there. Pulled from the game after that, naturally. At that point, I thought about just switching to defense because I'm like, I'm good at this. Like, I might could be all-state at linebacker for all I know. But that was that game. And then you fast forward to the next time I got to touch the ball as a running back. It was a game against Ash, which Peabody versus Ash, big rivalry, very important. This was the make or break moment in my career, I believe. So we playing Ash. I had to convince the coach to let me get in for a play. I said, Coach, I'm ready. He's like, nah, I don't want you out there. I don't think you're ready. Coach, give me the damn ball. I'm ready. Put me in. You want to win? Put Booby in. I'm ready to go. You sure? Yes, coach, put me in. So he gave me my shot. He put me in. Everybody, I get to the huddle. Everybody looking at me like, "What you doing out here?" You about to give me this damn ball? I'm about to score this touchdown. Let's go on break. One, boom. Let's go. I'm hyped. So we go through the cadence. He snaps the ball. It's a toss play to me. Gotta stop tossing the ball to me. Hand me the shit. But when they tossed it to me this time, I caught it. When I tell you, the biggest, most beautiful hole I have ever seen in my life opened up. Pause. If I had hit it, it was a straight shot touchdown. I was gone. Nobody was gonna catch me. It was a touchdown. All I had to do was plant my foot and cut and go. Now I fancy myself a great athlete. I fancy myself having some of the best feet to ever touch the ground. But in this particular case, as I went to go plant my foot and make my cut so I could hit the hole, both my feet touched each other. Don't ask me how it happened, but it did. I tripped myself. And I'm just stumbling and fumbling and bumbling all over the place. And I'm trying to corral myself because there's still enough time to recover and hit the hole. It was that big. But by the time I stopped stumbling, by the time I stopped doing a salsa dance in the backfield, as soon as I gather myself and look up, 3 linebackers, all at the same time, boom, knocked me on my ass. Fumble! -5 yards and a fumble. That's 2. Pulled from the game. Benched. Now, at that point, I thought that I had a chance for a comeback. I thought that I was going to be able to get out the doghouse because I was in the doghouse at that point. All I needed was a shot. But this is how I knew my career was going nowhere. This is how I knew I was a joke. This is how I knew I was never getting in the game for the rest of that season. This is where the leadership come in, going back to the beginning. It's homecoming. I forgot who we was playing. Don't really matter. We lost that game. But before the game started, we in the locker room. Doing our locker room routine, coach calls for the starters to come get their stuff. Now, I hadn't had a problem getting my equipment all season long. Everybody knows that I'm the smallest kid on the team. My pants needed to be small. I needed small pants. But the starters always got their stuff first, naturally. So on this particular game, and on this particular day, they called for the starters. And as they're going up one by one, getting their stuff, getting their pants, all I'm hearing is small, 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 small. So some of these people are not so small, but they're grabbing the small pants. I'm like, okay, oof, hope there's something left for me. At a certain point, they just said small so much, I put my headphones in. I ain't even listening. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to just get whatever's left. I know it's going to be something left up for me. So after starters get their stuff, they run out of the locker room. Everybody else come get their stuff. I go up to the equipment room, ready to get my stuff. Got my jersey, got my helmet, just need some pants. They say, LaVeers, I don't know how to tell you this, but all we got is extra large. I'm sorry, say what? All we got is extra large pants. What? So if you want to dress for this game, you're going to have to either take these pants or you're just not going to dress. I'm like, well, I have family here. This is homecoming. It's kind of a big game. I want to dress. So I'm looking at the pants. I'm looking at these big ass bridges. Wall to wall. I don't know how I'm going to make this work, but I'm going to make it work. So I put the pants on. I tie my belt. I had to create holes in the belt. I had to tie it as far as it could go. I put my pads in the little pad holes where they go. When I tell you I look like a fucking genie, you know how genie pants are at the bottom? You know how the hammer pants look? I had parachute pants on. Them coaches allowed me to walk out of the locker room onto the field with extra large offensive lineman pants on, looking like MC freaking Hammer, looking like a strong gust of wind. I'm going to fly away like a parachute. I was embarrassed. I run out there, pads are just flopping everywhere because there's nothing. They're not against my thighs. They're just in the pants. Where the locker room leaders, William Cowan, Benny Lucas. Y'all was the two people I knew the most, that knew the best. Nobody said nothing about this. I was rookie hazed on homecoming. I'm on the sidelines with my pants that extend from bench to bench. Embarrassed. In front of all these beautiful ladies out here. They do me like this. Where's the justice? Huh? Where's the justice? Everybody laughing, making fun of me, making jokes? What? Got the freshmen and sophomores trying to bully me. Ashton Van Zant, Richard Ellis was the main two. I got nothing against those guys. I don't know where they are these days. I hadn't seen them in 10, 11 years. Hope they're all right. Especially you, Richard. Richard tried to bully me the most, make fun of me the most outside of Ashton. He was a cornerback and he got burnt every play. Every play he was chasing ass, but got the nerve to want to make fun of me. Ashton was a receiver, but had butterfingers for hands. Dropped everything that touched his hands. Couldn't catch a cold in the Sahara Desert, but wanted to make fun of me. Embarrassed in front of my parents, in front of my father on homecoming. Where was the leaders? This ain't right. Somebody gotta go back in the locker room and take these small pants off and give them to this man. Y'all can put some mediums on. Y'all medium-sized people and want to wear the smalls. Junior year was not great. At that point, I had to go into the offseason wondering if I would even want to come back next year and give this another go. And of course, we all know what happened because I've mentioned it multiple times. Jaleel Stewart ended my career in practice. I was back at running back. I was killing it, actually. I was getting the ball. I was about to have a breakout season. That's how I felt. But there was one play where I had to pick him up in a pass block because he got through. And he must have forgot who was under that helmet or forgot who I was. Because when he ran me over, my head didn't bounce off the ground. It bounced through the ground. Seeing stars, Tweety Bird. Concussed. And at that point, I had to hang the cleats up. That was my football career. 2 carries, negative 10 yards, 2 fumbles. With 2 defensive tackles. Never practiced a play on defense. Wasn't even on the defensive side of the ball. That's what happened to me. That was my football career. All that led me to powerlifting. Yes, it had to happen. I don't join the football team. Coach doesn't know who I am. He doesn't put me on the powerlifting team. I don't win my championship. But football was not good to me. My dreams in the NFL was cut short real quick. That's all I got for you guys. I just had to get that off my chest. See y'all soon.